In 1921, Alfred Watkins was riding a horse across the English countryside when he had a sudden, overwhelming perception. Looking out across the hills of Herefordshire, he saw it clearly. The ancient churches, standing stones, hilltop earthworks, and sacred wells of the landscape were not randomly placed. They were aligned, straight lines, running for miles across the terrain, connecting site after site with geometric precision. He called them ley lines. The academic establishment dismissed the idea within a decade, but the dismissal hasn't aged well. Modern GPS surveys have confirmed what Watkins observed by eye. The alignment of Britain's ancient sacred sites is statistically non-random to a degree that rules out coincidence. The sites at Glastonbury, Stonehenge, Avebury, Silbury Hill, and dozens of others fall on lines of extraordinary precision, lines that, when extended, connect to sites in continental Europe and beyond. The St. Michael and St. Mary ley lines traverse the entire length of England from Cornwall to Norfolk, passing through dozens of major sacred sites. Their accuracy to within meters over hundreds of kilometers cannot be achieved without surveying instruments of significant sophistication, instruments that no Bronze Age culture is officially credited with possessing. The Great Pyramid at Giza sits within 1/60th of a degree of true north. It is positioned at the geographic center of all Earth's landmass. The longitude of the Great Pyramid, 31.134 degrees east, is the longitude that passes through more land than any other meridian on Earth. That was not an accident. That was a coordinate. The next episode is already in my profile. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Researcher Bruce Cathy spent decades mapping what he called the world grid, a geometric lattice of energy lines covering the entire planet. Working from the known positions of ancient sacred sites, UFO sighting concentrations, and geomagnetic anomalies, Cathy derived a grid of intersecting lines at 30-degree intervals that conform to the geometry of the icosahedron and dodecahedron, the same platonic solids that Plato described as the building blocks of the universe. Ivan Sanderson, working independently, identified 12 zones around the planet where anomalous events, ship disappearances, aircraft vanishings, compass malfunctions, and unusual electromagnetic effects, clustered with statistical significance. The Bermuda Triangle is the most famous of these, but Sanderson identified 11 others, equally spaced across the globe, arranged in a perfect geometric pattern consistent with the icosahedral grid. The Hartmann net and Curry grid, discovered by German researchers Ernst Hartmann and Manfred Curry in the mid-20th century, mapped a global network of geomagnetic lines spaced at regular intervals. These lines are measurable with sensitive instruments. Animals avoid sleeping on Hartmann node intersections. Studies of cattle, dogs, and ants confirm systematic avoidance behavior. Long-term human exposure to node intersections correlates with elevated rates of certain cancers. The ancients knew where these nodes were. Every major sacred site, Giza, Stonehenge, Teotihuacan, Angkor Wat, Machu Picchu, Göbekli Tepe, sits on a grid node or primary ley intersection. They weren't building in sacred locations. The locations were sacred because of what flowed through them. The next episode is already in my profile. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The full network, mapped across all continents, reveals something that changes the entire context of human prehistory. Whoever built the global sacred site network understood the Earth as a living electromagnetic organism. They mapped its energy meridians the way an acupuncturist maps the body's energy channels. They placed functional structures, pyramids, stone circles, temple complexes, at the nodes of greatest energetic intensity. Russian researchers Nikolai Goncharov, Vyacheslav Moroz, and Valery Makarov published a comprehensive mapping of the world grid in 1973, identifying 62 primary nodes on the planetary lattice. Every node corresponds to either a known ancient sacred site, a center of animal migration, an unusual geological feature, or a historically significant civilization center. The nodes are not evenly distributed by accident. They correspond to the vertices of a series of nested platonic solids, inscribed inside the sphere of the Earth. Plato described this geometry in the Timaeus. Ancient Hindu cosmology maps the same structure as the flower of life pattern. Buckminster Fuller independently derived it as the geodesic frequency structure of maximum structural efficiency. One geometric system, found globally, encoded in the oldest sacred art and the most modern structural mathematics simultaneously. The Earth is not a passive rock. It is an energy system with a measurable architecture, and the ancient world built an infrastructure along that architecture with a precision we are only now beginning to verify. And once you see this, you cannot unsee it. The next episode is already in my profile. Subscribe so you don't miss it.